Yeah, we'll walk up on him. Yeah. Yo, 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 we back. The Realest Conversations with Hootie Mack. This time, man, we out here in the country today, man. We took it from the city. Today, we out here in the country, man. We out here in the country with a real OG. And the thing about it, man, while I've been telling my OG that I'm gonna come out here and interview him, man, and hear his testimony, hear his story. He one of the only black men I know with a farm. So we decided to come out here. He gonna show us the farm. Tim, how you doing, brother?
Blessed.
My brother Tim, y'all might know him as New York Tim. Some might know him as Tim Robinson. Some might know him as Deacon Tim. So we gonna take a walk, brother, and we gonna check you out a little bit, man. So how you been? Y'all can get in front or... Yeah, so how's it been going, man?
Man, everything is good, man. I ain't got no complaints.
So when I heard you had a farm, like I said, we could have pretty much went anywhere and, you know, start filming. But I said I wanted to start out here, man, because I feel like that's what a lot of black men need more is farms and gardens.
Right.
You know, so I kind of want to make this like an entrepreneurship segment, as well as a testimony segment, and just hear your stories. So how long you done had the farm going?
We're going on about 2 years now. And we started out with the horses, which you'll see my babies right here.
Okay.
Bo and Mystic.
So it's a boy and a girl?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we got Bo and Mystic here. And then we got the cows probably about 5-6 months later. And it's been a learning experience.
And where the cows at?
The cows is back there in this pasture back here.
Okay.
So...
But then you had like another type of animal you was petting? What did you call
No,
him?
that was an alpaca.
Okay.
That was an alpaca, but it wasn't mine.
Okay.
No, it was alpaca.
So that's what I had seen.
Yeah,
I was like,
yeah.
what the hell Tim got going on out there, man?
No
Okay.
alpacas yet.
Okay. So which one is that's got to be that's the girl?
That's the girl.
Okay.
And this is Bo.
Okay.
This is my boy. And this is my wife horse, Mystic.
Bo and Mystic. All right.
And
Bo said, hold up.
like I said, we started out with the horses, and then we got the cows.
Okay.
We got everything for the chickens, and the chickens are going to be located over here, and the hogs is going down on the far end.
So how much
But
is
it's
this?
a process.
How much is this in your land?
Well, it's actually also family land, but me and my wife from the streets to the end is 10 acres.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah,
That's beautiful. Okay. I like that.
We're surrounded by family, you know, uncle and aunt back here.
Okay.
My father-in-law actually lived at the house she passed coming in.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, so like I said, it was actually, believe it or not, man, it was always my wife's vision to come back home and build. And, you know, it's a lot more we're going to talk about, but as you know, God did it.
Right.
We didn't do it.
Exactly.
Although we had the avenue to do it, you know, after coming home from prison.
Right.
I didn't foresee it happening, but God laid everything out.
This is like peace out here, man. Like,
man, this is more than peace, man.
Yeah, that's what I love about it, man.
For me, man.
It definitely is, man.
And you seen it even with the drive. Like, you just get away from everything and everybody. You know what our story's always been. You know, really coming from the street too. You always want to be somewhere where ain't nobody got no business being.
Exactly.
So at the end of the day, nobody got no business coming up this driveway or nowhere near this home if they ain't been invited.
So, definitely that driveway.
That's
right.
That's where that's been, man. But yeah, man, I mean, we starting out small, and it's been a learning curve. You know what I'm saying? And but I can definitely say God's been good because, you know, the more we plan, the more He shows what His plan is.
Exactly. So are they brothers and sisters?
No.
So you gonna mate them?
No. He's a Gildan. Actually, he can't even make babies.
Oh, okay.
And she's too old. All she's good for is what she's doing, and that's, you know, being my wife's big pet.
Right. So, you know, man, one thing I always wanted to do, go to the Kentucky Derby.
At the actual Kentucky Derby,
The
you and I
actual
both.
Kentucky
That
Derby, man.
that might be a bucket list we might need to do together.
The Kentucky Derby be beautiful, man, and I actually want to go and sit down and, you know, dress up in.
Yeah, because you know a lot of people do Kentucky Derby events.
Right. Right.
But the actual Kentucky Derby is definitely a bucket list for me.
It's definitely a bucket list.
Yeah.
A lot of cities, and Dallas included, they do events, but
Yeah.
I really want to go to Kentucky and experience the Kentucky Derby on its own.
Yeah, that might be a bucket list we can kick together.
So
bro.
we definitely going to get that. Yeah, man, we can make our way, we can make our way back and really get into the just of things, man.
Let's do it.
Have us a little drink and get your
Well, the whole
cigar,
purpose
man.
is to keep it a buck.
Yeah, and that's what we going to do, man.
Because we come a long way.
Come a long way, man.
Been through a hell of a lot.
And that's what our main focus is on the Realest Conversations, man. Just keep it real and just keep it a buck.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what we gonna do. Yeah. Yo, we back. Realest Conversations with Hootie Mack. I got my partner in here, OG. My boy New York Tim. That's what we gonna call him tonight, because that's how I know him. So, Tim, this how we gonna get into it, man.
Let's do it.
Let's start from the beginning. I like to start from the beginning and just work our way up. So where you from?
From the Bronx, New York.
Boogie down.
Came down here in '87. Stomping grounds, of course, was CK, Cleveland Projects. Of course, I set myself apart from everybody else. I walked all of the triad.
Right.
So, of course, I was good in all the hoods. But yeah, I started out in '87, by way of the streets. It ain't no secret. You know what I'm saying? Came down here hustling,
So when I first heard of you, we was at church, and I guess somebody came up to me and was like, they seen us talking. So they came up to me and was like, how you know New York Tim? And I was like, nah, I know Deacon Tim. I don't know no New York Tim. I know Tim from the church. So they was like, nah, man, that's, New York Tim. So ever since I heard that, I was like, you know what? I want to know homie's story. Like I just want to know homie's story. So when you came down, Cleveland was your stomping ground.
Yes, sir.
So when you moved down here, was you hustling back in New York, or you?
100%. Not just New York, everywhere.
Okay.
Up and down I-95, I-85.
So what brought you to North Carolina?
Well, it's real simple. We the story's crazy because we was already doing DC and VA.
Okay.
And then we was in the Bronx playing ball one evening, and Winston got mentioned to us. The invite was an open invite.
Right.
And we came down here pretty deep.
And prices was
unheard
a lot
of
sweeter
back then.
Yeah.
Unheard of back then.
Okay, so you came down here with a crew.
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah.
About how many of it was y'all?
Man, when we first came down here in '87, it probably was about 10 or 12 of us. My crew.
Yeah.
It was other New Yorkers, spread it out and coming and going.
Right.
And but yeah, as for me and mine, it was probably about 10 or 12 of us.
So when y'all touched the stomping grounds of Winston, it was crack.
Straight crack.
Straight crack.
Straight crack. Yeah. Straight crack.
So,
I mean, really up and down the corridors, that's all it was. That was that era. That was that era of whip. Of course, what they call it, Ready Rock. You know what I mean? Plus you had the Florida boys. You had that competition coming from the opposite direction. So the thing that made it sweeter for us was we was already moving and shaking, but we was young.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We was moving and shaking, but we was young. As for me, the same way I follow and I've always been on my own vibe, that's what set me apart from everybody. Because when everybody was that's all they was thinking about.
Right.
I was making moves and set myself up for the future.
Now, at some point in time, it was a transition from the dope to the heroin.
No, not for me.
Okay, it was always dope?
Nope, for me, it was from the dope to the weed.
Okay.
I went from dope to weed. My heroin charge was a conspiracy charge. Heroin was never for me. I couldn't stand it.
I see. I didn't know that.
Yeah, no. You know, to set the record straight, it was a conspiracy charge. But at the end of the day, heroin, that was never my cup of tea.
Yeah.
Never, ever. You know what I mean? I went from crack to weed and then women.
Now, you know, I do my homework, man. Mm-hmm. So before I knew I was coming to see you, I did some real deep investigating. And
talk to me.
We're going to talk about an incident, and we're going to protect names. So this certain person, we're going to call them SK.
Okay.
So
once you mention the statement, I know who SK is, but let's roll.
Okay.
Let's roll.
So SK used to call himself a public speaker.
Okay.
So SK used to go around calling himself a public speaker here and there. You know, used to be in the clubs.
Okay.
But SK was a narc.
Okay.
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 So SK all of a sudden pops up at this certain church.
Uh-huh.
And he's on the security detail of the church.
Correct.
You went to the same church also.
Okay.
So I was hearing that the only reason SK came to that church was to get closer to you, to investigate you.
I'm going to be honest with you, brother. I just got to keep it real. I'm not sure for that.
Right.
I'm not sure for that because there was some other things going on much deeper than me around the time it all occurred.
Right.
Right?
So now we know who SK is.
Correct.
Okay.
Now I promise you, and this is being as real as it can get. Even if that was the case, that man had a job to do. Okay. I had a job to do.
Okay, right.
My job was to stand 10 toes down and be firm on whatever the situation was and whatever will occur. All right?
Right.
So if you fast forward to that assumption, right, that he came there to get close to me.
Yeah.
I personally did it. My whole 4 years and 6 months and a couple of nights, I had a clear understanding that just couldn't have really been just possible just for me because it wasn't about me.
Yeah. Right.
See, that's what a lot of people don't understand. Right. That no matter how they portrayed it in the paper, on the news, that wasn't my case.
Yeah.
You feel what I'm saying? At the end of the day, that also wasn't even a situation when that person came to the church.
Yeah.
You feel me? But I stand 10 toes on that. I really do. I could look in the camera and say that man had a job to do. He did his job.
Right.
Know?
Because
I came home and shook his hand the same way I did before.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask too.
Yeah, no hard feelings.
Are you still a member of that church?
No longer.
Okay.
And I was actually still a member up until right about a year and a half ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that wasn't the reason you left?
No, not at all.
To do with it. Okay.
As a matter of fact, I came home. It was in the halfway house right across the street from the church.
Right.
And still went right back to the church.
Okay.
Yeah. No.
And that's just like
my walk is faith driven.
Right.
That whole situation is really I crack jokes about it, but I'm dead serious. It's a full-fledged book. And it's definitely a Tubi movie. Because at the end of the day, the realism of the whole situation is there was a lot of politics going on in real life in the church and in the streets at that time.
Right.
You know, this is me giving anybody advice. You can't straddle the fence.
Right.
So I got to own mine. So straddling the fence and still being around my brothers and my people that was doing what they was doing, right? And what part I played, I accepted that. Me going to prison was me not giving them what they want.
Yeah.
Which is telling. Right? So now you fast forward to you let the streets tell it, and some of those that did tell it, because it was a big case. But only 3 people went to jail.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah.
But the moral to the main story, and I don't want to lose it because I want to say this on camera and I want to say this to you because you know, just so I don't miss it too, because we might not go back to it. You didn't know who I was, but I knew who you was when you came back home.
Yeah.
And you might not remember, and that's from Code Red.
Yeah.
So when y'all was running rampant,
right,
you know what I mean?
Right.
I was still around, I
Yeah.
just was in the cut.
Yeah.
Now, when you fast forward back to that particular situation, like I said, when he first came, and for a while, I mean, I would say even maybe a whole year or two, that incident hadn't even happened yet.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I would have to say for sure, not for me, but definitely I was in the pocket. We was in the same industry.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
but like I said, I respect the man, and the man had a job to do.
So they came at you a lot, the snitch.
Not even a lot. When it went down, it went down.
Yeah.
You feel me? It went down. And the moral of the story is this too, Hootie. Just like you said, we ain't gonna say no names. It ain't like the person they was after didn't know they was after him.
Yeah. Right.
You understand what I'm saying? Some of the things I know for a fact I can say out loud, that's just like with me when I was sitting there being cocky, real cocky when they had me. Like, listen, y'all been following this man. Y'all been following me. I was able to name time, places. Get what I'm saying? And then it was the you know, the other part of the Tubi movie and the book that would be hilarious. You know, the movement.
Yeah.
Like we see y'all.
Yeah.
We not new to this. The end of the day, they could have made my life hell, but they wasn't after me.
Yeah.
So when I look hindsight, I caught a lot of breaks because they wasn't after me. But they wanted me to do what the more than handful of people already had done, which was sit patiently and be prepared to testify.
Right.
Because that's how this thing works.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You sit patiently and you prepare to testify, and then if things go the way they went, you don't ever have to testify.
Yeah.
But they could say what they want to say. You ain't stupid, I ain't stupid. We from the street.
Yeah.
You ain't a free man. You ain't a free man after that.
Right.
You still got to work.
Right. Still got to work.
But I'll be damned. And I was asked by some people we both know. Very closely.
Rest in peace.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So and then you got the flip side to it, going back to what you're basically saying and not saying no names. You know, that main person sat me down several times.
Yeah.
Just tell them what you want to know and you ain't got to go nowhere. I'm cut differently.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for me, going away to prison made me a better man.
Right.
Because he sat me down, like he say, even in the script, in the scripture. You feel what I'm saying? He gonna sit you down. He gonna strip you. He gonna take everything from you. It's what you gonna do when you in that quiet time. You feel me?
Right.
Which is what you now see now. Because I came home on a mission, but my mission wasn't to be salty.
Right. Right.
Because I had to rub shoulders with more than a few of them.
I remember that day you came in prime time, and I told you that me and you knew the same person. And the person that we knew, it was like OG used to come pick me up when I was young. Like he seen something in me. You know, he taught me. Actually, he went in. He the first person I seen with a Burberry necktie. And I said, man, I'm going to get one of them, man. I'm going to get one of them. I like how you rocking that. And he was like, man, I'm going to get one for you. You know what I'm saying? So he always, you know, taught me a lot. We had his store. You know, I did a rap commercial for him. So, you know, rest in peace to him. You know what I'm saying? You know, he was always a pretty good guy in my eyes. But I know how I be on the flip side of it all also. You know what I'm saying?
And see, Hootie, the thing about it is, the streets is always going to talk, and they're going to tell a narrative, right? Me, coming from where I come from, and I'm just going to keep it real, it's not like I got down here and then became a drug dealer. I got down here and I became a street dude. I came down here and I became a warrior and a fighter and a nigga that's willing to die for his, or brawl for his, whatever you want to call it. No, I was doing that since a chat. But at the end of the day, where I made my peace a long time ago in these streets of North Carolina, especially in the Triad, from Greensboro to Winston to Charlotte to Raleigh to Durham, To this day, there's not a near nigga out here that's still probably owe me thousands of dollars. I ain't never put money before a man's life.
Right.
Ever.
Mm-hmm. That's
I ain't
real.
never disrespect a man's family, home, situation over money. I think that's a portion of my blessings there.
Right.
Because there's a lot of niggas that deserved it. And they deserve to get it real good. But I always had a motto when I first started selling drugs, which was, I'm not going to take a life and I'm not going to put nobody's life in danger. Part of my testimony at that same said church,
Right.
at the C2C conference, year after year, is when I used to travel up and down them highways, dirty, you know, bricks in the car, weed in the car.
Right.
I did that.
Right.
I wasn't one of those putting no young chick on the bus, waiting for her at the train station. Because at the end of the day, I couldn't live with myself
Right.
when they ain't making it back home today. You feel me?
Yeah.
Where in which there was a lot of people that let people just get hit up and they go about their way and catch another mule.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? In this case, really wasn't too much difference because I foreseen it coming. Because not only that, there were some real close people to us that didn't go to jail, but they was knee deep in the money, in the game, living well.
Do you ever see yourself moving back to New York?
Never.
Why?
I'm home.
Right.
I'm home. I visit New York. I love New York. New York is in my veins. You know what I'm saying? Because that's where I come from.
Right.
You know what I mean? I'm bred. That's just me. You know what I'm saying? That's like you said. You ain't the only one. You know, almost everybody down here from that era still call me New York Tim.
Yeah.
Right? But here's the difference between New York Tim and the Tim that you've come to know now, right? New York Tim was paving a way and didn't know where he wanted to be at the time. He just knew he needed to raise his kids,
Yeah.
stay in these streets, and stay out the way. That was my main priority. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Raising them boys at the time, because I didn't have no girls yet. Raising them boys and staying out here, because that's even like with traveling and doing shows and being in the music industry back then. It was real different for me. When my beeper used to go off, I had to decide, do I want to jump in that car? Because, you know, the stories is to be told. There's plenty of times I had 4 or 5 of my cars. We heading down 95 to VA to go to a show, or we heading up, you know, 85 south to go to a show, and I'm taking 10, 20 niggas from Winston with me.
Right.
Yeah. But I came back home to my family. I had to take care of my boys. I was a single dad and I ain't play that.
So when you went, so they end up giving you 4 years?
5 years.
5 years.
5 years. I did 4 years, 6 months.
Fed?
Fed.
So tell me about that. How was that run?
Man, I'm gonna be honest with you, Hootie. I didn't know what to expect.
Right.
Right. And
But this wasn't your first run.
this is
your
my first
run?
Fed run.
Wow.
I did a couple of counties.
Right.
you know.
Right. Have you ever been to state?
No.
Okay.
Never made it to state because
Okay.
every little county case I had,
Right.
I beat or I had probation.
Okay.
Now, for my first Fed run, the thing about it is, of course, I had the knowledge from supporting brothers that went to jail, but me being in the system myself, no. So I had no clue I was going to a camp, Hootie. No clue. But you know, in transit, if you know anything about Fed, you did Fed or you did state?
No, I did county.
Okay. Fed, y'all all travel together. You're all housed together until you get to certain prisons is the only time they separate you,
Okay.
right? So in Atlanta, when I got to Atlanta, I got separated and I couldn't understand for the likes of me why. But then I found out why. We all know there's a camp, there's a low, there's a medium, there's penitentiary.
Yeah.
I found out in Atlanta I was going to a camp. So when I first got to the camp, it was just unbelievable. And I actually used to walk the track saying, God, what kind of punishment is this? Like every night these niggas is out here partying. On a weekend they got KFC, pizza, weed, liquor.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what happens? Not even 5.5, 6 months later, I jack off. I get shipped to the low in PA.
How you get jacked off?
I got what you call a 316 shot.
Okay.
I was out of the living quarters after hours.
Okay.
So it's really a 316 shot. You really supposed to just get 20, 30 days in the shoe,
Right.
and get on about your business, right? But it goes back to the same policies. So of course, while I'm in the shoe, it's tell us where the phone is at. Tell us who got this.
Right,
Tell us who got that. We know what we know. Okay, if you know what we know, and you know my jacket, you know, you might as well just let me sit here and get comfortable.
Yeah, ain't nothing.
Right? But lo and behold, I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. Another thing, the whole time, the one that put me in the situation and in there with me at the time was trying to take me down. It was from the Carolinas.
Y'all was in the feds together?
No, he came. So we're gonna keep it a buck.
Let's keep it a buck. Real.
So he gets there. He's from down in the Eden area, North Carolina.
Okay.
So in the feds, you go by your last three numbers.
You right.
007 is North Carolina.
Okay.
Okay. So when he comes to the camp, it's only three of us in there from North Carolina. He makes the third person.
Okay.
Oh, gee, I know you know how to move. They say you know how to move. They say you got everything on lock. You know how to move. You know how to move. So that particular night, he wanted to go out. I said no. I should have stuck to my guns. Because as soon as I made a move to try to show him how to go out, that's when it all went down. But because once again, as usual, my guts was telling me from the door not to do it, before they could actually get me in a situation where I was really out of bounds. Yeah. I was like, oh, hell no. But as soon as I turned around, they closed the door on me. You feel me? So
you got shipped off?
Shipped off, went to the low, and that's when the real transition started, though.
Have you ever gotten into a fight while you was in there? Yeah.
I can't call neither one of them a fight, though. I'm going to keep it real with you. I guess I'm going to keep it a buck with you. Never a fight, but did I have to put my hands on somebody? Twice.
And what was it about?
The first time, if you know anything about federal prison, the TV room is serious.
Okay.
And what you don't do in prison, you don't call a man a bitch.
Right.
Don't invite a man to your dick. Right. Right? And you don't steal.
Right.
So we in the TV room, right? And it's an older cat. Been testing me. Because by then they calling me, like you call me Deacon now. They used to, actually in there, they was calling me the Christian thug. Right? Right. So, because all I did was, I did leather craft. I made leather bags. Yeah. Go to church. Go to work. Work out. Right. Right? But to get back to your question, so we in the TV room one day, and you got, believe it or not, even at a low, you got structure. Right? So when you first come in, you can't just sit anywhere you want to sit. Right. You also really don't have a seat. So like, say you go in the TV room and nobody's in there, you can sit down if nobody's in there. But on them nights when them TV shows was coming on, like Love and Hip Hop and all them other good shows, you had to have a seat. But because the way I carried myself, I had a seat in less than 2-3 weeks of being there. Yeah. But by the time this situation happened, I'm not only do I have a seat, I'm signified. I got the kitchen on lock. I'm selling seasonings. So make a long story short, a nigga from Philly calls me a bitch over the TV.
Do New York and Philly niggas get along?
No. Especially not in prison. Okay. Right? But it wasn't, that's the thing. I didn't go, in prison, especially feds, they call it cars. Right? So when you get there, they come find you. Yeah. I wasn't in nobody's car. I was me. I'm a Christian. I walk on my own. So
explain that to me. How does it happen when they come to you? So they want you to be in a North Carolina car?
They want you to claim your car. They want you to be in a North Carolina car. For me, they wanted me to be in a North Carolina car. They wanted me to be in a New York car, right? Because when I got there, some of my homies from New York was there. Oh, okay. Right? Some of my homies from Winston was there, right? Matter of fact, by the time Lenny Boo got there, I had the yard on smash.
Shout out to Lenny Boo.
My nigga, right? So basically, like I said, dude called me a bitch, but I got too much to lose.
Right.
I'm trying to get back out of here and get home. Get home.
Right.
And I'm close to the door, going back to the camp where I can spend more time with my wife and my kids. So I did what I've been doing, which this was my second event. I just let them talk all this shit and just invited them to the bathroom, which is that's how you take care of your business in prison, especially if you ain't scared.
Without the cameras, right? Yeah. Right.
So I took them in the bathroom, dust them off, choked them out right quick. But that's it. I really, other than that, I didn't have no issues because that's just it. Like it ain't no different than all these years of being here and going anywhere else I've been.
If you a boss everywhere you go.
It's period. When you walk in a room, you demand a room, you command a room.
Right.
And really it's the fool that chooses to put you in that predicament. And like I said, that's happened to me here in Winston a few times.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, everybody's going to meet his match one day. My thing is I'm not going to fold just because you might be my match. Right. You're going to have to prove it to me.
Right.
So if you want to touch my buttons, just be prepared for the repercussions.
So when was the point where you was like, I'm done straddling the fence? Was it
I'm
in
be
prison?
Honest with you. No. That's the crazy part. Shout out to my nigga that I did time for and I still do time with. And like we said, we ain't gonna say no names, but we still rocking to this day. And I say that because of what you just asked me. Right? I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. And that's how endured this case was to me, right? That man didn't even want to see me come back to the streets. You feel me?
Your partner?
Exactly. So all them hard times I was having, because I was working for the city at the time. Right? Knee deep in the church.
Right.
All them struggle times I was having, instead of putting work in my hands or even allowing me to be back in the game, the man used to just cut me a check. I don't want to see you come back this way, bro. Go about your business. This ain't for you.
That's love.
You feel me?
Right. That's love.
And we still eating right now, legitimately.
Right.
You feel me? But at the end of the day, for me, straddling fence was still happening in prison. That's why by the time I got to the low, I had to really get down on my knees and talk to God, beg for forgiveness. And that's when a real transformation started. Right. You feel me? Because at the end of the day, I started working and tutoring in the GED program. You feel me? I found my real piece was me doing them leather bags, and then became a hustle real quick on the inside and the outside. So for me, I started formatting what my plan was when I get released. Right. Because see, in prison, special federal prison now, if you go in there without an education, they make you get your education. At least your GED. At least. Right? Right. Lucky for me, my now wife, which was my girl then, her and my daughter talked me into getting my high school diploma right before it hit the fan. So that played a part in my going away as well. You see what I'm saying? Because everything is a point system. So since I already had my high school diploma, when I got in there, I was able to become a tutor in GED program. But I also, no matter where I was, from the time even when I was in the county, holding Bible study, because one thing for sure and two things for certain, it's just like your education, right? Your faith. Can't nobody take your faith away, right? I know what God has done for me from then to now, but especially during. Right. You feel me? Right. Because at the end of the day, even when I was waiting to be sentenced, most people don't know this, so we're going to say this now on your podcast, I was supposed to get sentenced, not once, not twice, but 3 times. I went downtown with my whole family the second time, 3 white t-shirts on, 3 pair of white underwear, you feel me? Ready and prepared, you feel me? All for them to send me back out the door, you know what I'm saying? And for me, the straddling fence stopped after I jacked off at the camp. That was it for me. You know what I'm saying? That was literally it for me. And I say that because, like I said, I had the camp on Smash. Anything you needed, anything you wanted. You know what I mean? Now, that was the other thing that had the match, especially the white boys in there. I had it on Smash, but I wasn't nowhere to be found. Like when they partying on the weekend, I'm in my bunk getting ready for my next visit in
Right.
the morning. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
When they partying during the weekdays, I'm over in a whole nother building at Bible study. But I still had things in smash.
Right.
You know, that's just the hustle in me.
Yeah.
Which I thought, since I'm not dealing, I'm not doing nothing, I'm just making it happen. Once again, it's right. But God showed me different.
Tell me how you met your wife. I see y'all on Facebook, man. Y'all look very happy together, and I see how she held you down
Stitchy.
when you was gone. And I remember her from the church. You know what I'm saying?
Well, that's it. I was gonna
right.
say
Every time I see her, she got a smile on her face, man.
Everything folds back to just that,
Yeah.
brother. Everything, same way me and you chop it up in Union. That's what me and my wife met in Union.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you know, that's a story to tell too. You know, there was a handful that was for me, for us, for her while I was gone, but there was more of a what would you consider bigger than a handful? It was more against us than it was against us.
Always.
You feel me, right? Including the head. Right? So my thing is this, and I say it again. I didn't foresee none of the above. You feel me?
Yeah.
But you said the key words. She held me down. Because when I jacked off at the camp, everybody else got ghosts. Everybody. You feel me?
Yeah.
But that woman, along with her soldiers, Shaka, Shamana,
Shout out to
Tasha, a
Shaka.
few of them. Yeah. You know, my little sis held her down. They, everywhere I was, when I was in PA, all the way to Alabama. You feel me? My wife came to see me every other weekend. Every other weekend. And I didn't need for nothing.
I remember one time I put a post on Facebook, and I was like, y'all ex-dope boys out here driving 18-wheelers and shit. Well, hey, Shaka thought I was talking about you.
I can only imagine what she said.
She kept it real. But I was like, Shaka, I'm not even talking about my homie. Like, that's my OG right there.
But I'm going to tell you something that's
Shaka's
crazy.
outside. That's real. She's
That's
real.
it. But that's just it. For those that know me, I have a lot of people that's near and dear to me, right? Especially females that I call sisters, right? And I got to shout out because the difference between her and the rest of them is when the shit went down, she didn't fold on me.
Right.
Feel me?
Right.
Her and my wife wasn't besties before I went to prison. She became besties with my wife because she held me down and she held my wife down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That's hard to find these days.
Hard.
That's real hard to find. You feel me? And the movers and shakers know that, you know, when you got somebody good on your team, you gotta give them their just due. You know what I'm saying?
Right. You gotta give them their flowers. Yeah. And
But
that's
yeah,
real.
my wife definitely held me down. But not only that, you know, like, I appreciate it. You know, you've always showed us love. This ain't just
Always.
about no podcast.
Right.
You've always showed us love, right? But here's the other flip side to it that people need to understand. They call us a power couple. They say we look good. They say, but we both understand what really happened here.
Right.
From then to now was nothing but God.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like I was just telling you outside, back when it was a dream for her to be living like we living now, you couldn't pay me to want to come out here and live out here. Back then.
Right then. Right. We older in this. Right. Understand.
But not only that, God put some things in place and changed some things in my life, her thought process, my thought process, for us to now be where we are now, right?
Yeah.
Back to the faith walk, right? It's easy to get it misconstrued coming from where we come from.
Yeah.
You know, like I said, that's just like when you came home, we had that talk. They talk shit about you too while you was gone.
Right.
The same way they talk shit about me while I was gone, while I was still around. And shit, a handful of them, we was making sure their rent was paid. We was making sure their family had food on the table. But when we couldn't do it no more.
That's when it started. Right.
And I even go a step further, not only when we couldn't do it, but when we decided not to do it no more. That's when we became the villains.
Yeah, they don't like to hear the word.
They pissed on our names, they shit on our names. But, you know, you fast forward to right now, and speaking of right now, brother, I want to give you your flowers on your own podcast.
I appreciate it.
I love you and I appreciate you, but on more than several occasions though, bro, you rose to the occasion. You feel me?
Yeah.
You have rose to the occasion. Even now,
Yeah.
resetting your podcast by yourself because you felt like that's what was needed.
Right.
Only a real man and a real hustler is going to take that next step.
Yeah. I done came, man, how I look at it, man, I came off the porch at an early age and not
Very early.
And not even on the hustling tip, on the morals and maturity side. Like, I remember when Slug used to come pick me up and we go to church together. And we go out to eat just so I can ride around with him in that black Cadillac so he can just give me jewels, put jewels on me. So whether it's Slug, whether it's Swang, whether it's Bay Ray, whether it's WAP, whether it's Bone, whether it's just OGs, man, I just always love to be around them, man, because I feel like I was a little bit older and mature than my age. And they taught me a whole lot. I remember one time Rod Dog pulled me to the side and was like, Hootie, you next, man.
My brother.
He was like, Hootie, you next. I was like, you think so? He was like, I know so. I wouldn't even be telling you this if you wasn't. He was like, just stay focused. And when you hear that from Rod Dog, he's saying something. You know what I'm saying? Right. To this day, I love that brother. You know what I'm saying?
We just was together. God bless Enid, rest your soul. You know, my second oldest son, grandmother just passed.
Oh, okay.
And Rod Dog was at the funeral, and we was, as always, chopping it up afterwards.
Right.
You know, me, him, and a few other, you know.
That was Mimi mom.
Correct.
Right. Okay.
Yes.
My condolences.
So, bringing Rod Dog up, you know, we was talking about pretty much still, which we always find time after we give each other the flowers, laugh, joke, reminisce, to talk about just that, like you just said. Real, it's what me and you, we say all the time. Real gonna always recognize real.
Always.
Right? The thing that shifted from then to now is this, right? My case, here, New York, streets, he told. They, you know, they say what they want to say, right? But if you could read and you could comprehend,
right,
and you started off it by saying something, I'm gonna protect the names, and I'm not gonna say their names. Or if you go back and read the paperwork, or if you go back and read the newspaper, it says C1, C2, C3,
right,
C4, confidential informants.
Right.
Where are all these people at? They didn't go to prison with us. Their name wasn't in the paper. Right?
Right.
And I'm saying all that to say this is, the difference between back when we was coming up and now, there's a whole lot of C2, C3s, and C4s out here. Yeah. And that's who they respect these days.
That's who they respect.
They seem to respect the people that's going to reaching their back for the gun first. They seem to respect those that still seem to look like a hustler. Right. But they punching the clock. They just ain't punching the clock at KFC. They punching it downtown in a little building. Yeah. Downstairs with a Y in their chest. And it's sad because that's what the world has come to, bro.
And that's real.
It don't get no better or no less than that, because at the end of the day, if you really pay attention to what's going on right now, right? The game is over. The game is over. The game is completely over. So anybody that is outright in the streets and seem to be living their best life, if I was in the streets, I'd stand a whole state away from them. Right. Because it just ain't possible no more. Right. It ain't possible no more.
That makes sense.
It just ain't possible no more. In the same way that said person that you started the conversation with was out to make sure a lot of us did some type of time before he retired. That was that man's job. Yeah. Right? But trust and believe, it was a lot of people that people respect and look up to and think they somebody in these streets that helped them put people like me away. Yeah.
I just, like I said, I respect the OGs, man. One thing I respect about B Mack and why my loyalty has been so strong to him after all these years. I remember one time B Mack had to go pick up a load. And I was like, Mac, you want me to go get it for you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't tripping. I'll go pick it up for you. Because when I pick up a load, I'm by myself. Don't nobody know nothing. And one thing Mac said was like, nah, that ain't your field. You fuck with that weed. You don't need to deal with this shit. You know what I'm saying? I need you to still be out here to carry this name on.
Right.
And that's why I always mention Freebie Mac. That's why I always mention Mac Entertainment. That's why Mac Entertainment is the umbrella for the podcast and everything else I got going on because of the loyalty.
But the young brother was solid. The
All the
young
way.
brother was all the way solid. You understand what I'm saying? Always have been. And one thing I could definitely say, you know what I'm saying? Not only was he solid in these streets, he's solid in prison.
Right.
You feel me? Mm-hmm. And he's solid because he stood 10 toes down while a lot of niggas tried to put him. A lot of niggas stood on that stand.
Right.
Against that brother that fed their families, like I told you. You as good as what you give until the day you stop giving. Mm-hmm. And that's what family and friends these days. And it's sad. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But B-Mac definitely forever will
And one
be.
thing Mac said, Hootie, I can't snitch. Because all I got is my word and my name. And I can't fuck that up. He said I can't.
And he stood on that.
He stood on that. Matt, shout out to Matt. Matt could be home. Hopefully end of this year or the first of next year, man. So we're going to keep this thing going. You know, Mac asked me.
I'm going to throw something in the air. We're going to put something together for you.
Yeah.
A safe environment, a sweet homecoming.
Mm-hmm.
Something beautiful because you deserve it, bro.
So definitely. Give me some shout outs, brother.
So for me, y'all already know how this go. BX first and foremost, right? But I also got to know, you see the background. I'm in a different environment in my life right now. I definitely got to shout out GTG, the Good Time Cigar Gang, Piedmont Triad. You know how we do. We hold it down, 10 toes down. But I definitely got to shout the Munch Buggy truck out, the food truck. See, what y'all don't understand is, why y'all tried to stunt the growth. We got B Battle Trucking Enterprises Incorporated. We got B Battle Logistics. We got the Munch Buggy. And we got a brick and mortar coming soon.
Hold up. I be seeing you posting a menu. Who food truck is that?
That's the Munch Buggy.
Okay, and that's yours? Okay, I be seeing that. I meant to ask you about that.
Let's go and let's let the elephant in the room speak for itself. Mm-hmm. Right? That's my partner.
Okay.
That's who I went to prison for.
Okay. Say less.
You feel me?
Loyalty first.
You feel me? And what you said, you see me do what every day? Mm-hmm. Post the menu.
Yeah. That's how I know about it, yeah.
Right? And I can show you some pictures too where it was in this driveway way before it was on the street. Mm-hmm. Right? But at the same time, we did our time. Right. So we could talk about it. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Pay some attention. He's slinging wings, I'm slinging asphalt.
Right.
You feel me? He's slinging oxtails, I'm slinging 57 rock, dirt, stone, and if you need to go long haul, I got a few tractors outside. You feel me?
That's beautiful.
The difference is we doing it right this time. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? And first and foremost, the first lady of my life, you know what I'm saying, my wife, which she told me to send you a love because she ain't here right now. Not only did she hold me down in prison, though, she holds me down now. Mm-hmm. Because it's not easy, you know what I mean, mm-hmm. doing what we do. Right. She just had to talk me down off the ledge recently, too, because I'm still human.
Right, exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And people will test you. Right. You know what I'm saying? But for me, I'm just blessed that God has really chose me to do something totally different, and that's work in his kingdom. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Because if you think about it, the same way when you came back home, and that was what? 2004, mm-hmm. 2005. Yeah. Same ministry I was doing then, which is the security ministry, and the sponsoring and mentoring youth and youngins and brothers from the street. Mm-hmm. I'm still doing it to this day. Right. Because that's where my heart is at. My heart is literally giving back to the kingdom, mm-hmm. because the kingdom has done nothing but done good for me and my family. Right. You know what I'm saying? And I say that and I get teary-eyed because at the end of the day, a lot of people You notice a lot of people walked through them doors and stayed because they was like, if he can do it, I can do it, right?
Right.
But there's more to it than that. That's being used by God,
Right.
right? Now you fast forward to me being who I was in the game, right? Now just check out this little small formality I'm about to give to you. Me being the way I was in the game, how I left New York, came to North Carolina, was in Virginia, D.C., hustling, right? Well, now, same thing happened in the ministry.
Right.
I went from Winston to High Point, from High Point to Charlotte. Still doing ministry. Walking in unknown territories, but still doing his work.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't no different from you. You picked up, shifted, back to Texas you go. Standing firm, planting your own seeds and making it happen. But guess what you still do? You still reach back and give back.
Right.
Because now you're all the way back in North Carolina in the man cave. We chopping it up. And it was supposed to happen totally different a while ago. You feel me? And I respect that because there's still more to be told. So I think we need a part 2.
We definitely need a part 2. When the chickens come in, we're going to get a part 2. And we're going to get everything, see how the transition going with the farm. See if we can start a garden up out there. You know, more black men, more black people need to learn how to garden. Grow your own food. So
and they don't need much to do it.
Right.
That's the new thing too. There's a lot that they can look into where they can start, especially when it comes to gardens and chickens. It just depends on where they at. You know what I mean? And how, you know, even if they renting, it just depends on what type of neighborhood they in.
Yeah.
They can still do these things.
Right.
Like for me, my only reason for not, like, that's what I didn't get to point out to you. I got everything back here for the chickens. I got everything down there for the hogs. I got everything I need to start my garden. Shaka Mom is helping me start my garden, right? But here's the thing. I'm one man.
Right.
I run a whole corporation.
Right.
I still drive one of the trucks. So I only could do but so much. But it goes back to that too. If people could get out of the crab and barrel mindset, there's a lot of people and brothers that could be out here helping me and learning.
Right.
I'll leave that there.
Leave that there. But they say you can take them to the...
You can lead the horse to the water, but you can't make them drink.
Exactly.
Literally.
Literally.
Because you go out there right now and take any one of them to the water. Just because you take it, they ain't going to drink it.
Right. Literally.
Yeah.
Let me give a shout out to first and foremost God for making this happen, making this possible. You know, we was talking about the church, and I'm from the old Union Baptist, man, with Reverend Daniels, man, and
before my time, but yeah.
That
I got the knowledge, but I've never met
that brother. You know, that brother taught me a whole lot about life at a young age, man. So I always commend him when we talking about church, especially Union Baptist. I always talk about the old Union Baptist because he's the reason that I'm right here right now with a mature form of mind that can be structured enough to continue on in life. So I definitely give a shout out to Reverend Daniels. Let me give a shout out to second and foremost my camera crew. Cannon boys, y'all always come through. You know, I always fuck with y'all the long way, man. I love y'all. Every time I call, y'all ready. I missed my flight got canceled, so I said let's kick in another episode real quick, and y'all was ready on point. I love y'all. Tim, I love you, brother.
You already know, man.
You know, we done talked about this so much, man, and for us to just make it happen, you know, God works in mysterious ways, so maybe it was put in position for them to cancel that flight, for me to come back home, and for us to set this up.
So we could finally chop it up.
Right, man. Right.
I mean, and like I told you, and I mean this, I'm going to say it again on camera. You already know I'm going to support you in any way I can, brother. So if you ever, if you leave here and you feel like you left some things out, and if you want to get even grittier, man, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'm here for it all, man.
And we definitely going to do a part 2. Rest in peace, Walt. Rest in peace, Biggs. Y'all know what it is. I love y'all. Chill.